How do you know? How the fuck did you figure that one out? Oh, it'd be worse under Labour, immigration. That statement implies that the Tories have had some sort of control on the situation, that they've been taking immigration seriously for the past 14 years, rather than using it as a slogan to keep the flag shaggers happy. Oh, tough on immigration. Oh, taking back control. Stop the boats. 14 years of tough talk and performative cruelty, and yet illegal immigration hasn't been this out of control since the Vikings invaded. Probably. If a single Tory this election campaign promises they'll control our borders and get net migration under control, they are lying to you. In 2010, David Cameron promised to get net migration down to tens of thousands. It didn't happen. 2015, the pledge was repeated. It didn't happen. 2017, Theresa May promised the same. 2019, same again. Yet net migration is now double what it was in 2015. The year before, we all voted to take back control, presumably, of our borders. They've spent their years in government workshopping and blue sky thinking the most cruel and unusual ways to punish asylum seekers, rather than simply processing their applications in a timely manner, which would be cheaper, easier and more efficient. Let's stick them on a barge with an amusing name. Yeah. Let's infect them with deadly Legionella. Let's force them all into the sex trade. Let's just watch them all drown. Tory policy has for some time been the following: deliberately and knowingly bring the immigration service to its knees so that asylum seekers have next to no reasonable means to claim legal asylum, so they have to do it illegally. Then we can publicly punish and shame them, and that will put others off coming here. I mean, it sounds like a plan, but it's a plan that has not worked, clearly. We were told that Brexit would stop illegal immigrants. We are told that if we left the European Court of Human Rights, that would solve our problems, that changing the definition of asylum because it's exploited by lefty lawyers will solve the problem. We were told that ending freedom of movement was the magic bullet. We were told that that barge would stop the boats. And even though UK ministers were warned by their own advisors that the Rwandan government tortures and kills political opponents, we were told that spending £120 million not to send anyone to Rwanda was a sensible policy for a happier Britain. None of it has worked. The only way to take back control of our borders is an immigration service that is properly funded, free of expensive gimmicks, and that is fit for purpose. Nothing you do will work until the system is repaired. And I'm not saying open up our borders. I'm not saying let the fuckers in and take our jobs. I'm not saying we should encourage young men from minorities to join a grooming gang. I'm saying treat the subject with the seriousness it deserves. It's complex, it's divisive and difficult to solve, and just referring to immigrants as swarms, an invasion, a flood of marauders doesn't achieve anything. The hostile environment policy doesn't work. Just causing fear and resentment isn't an immigration policy. In government, both Labour, when they were in government all those many years ago, and the Tories could have chosen stronger immigration control, but they didn't. Why? Because immigration actually makes life easier for politicians. Immigration makes it easy for politicians not to invest, not to increase wages, not to spend on education. It allows politicians to avoid responsibility and avoid investing in our children's future, because if you've got a shortage of nurses or teachers or scientists or engineers, you can just get a load of foreign ones in instead. So whilst 30,000 people crossed the channel last year, grabbing all the headlines, this government issued 1.4 million visas. Look over here. Look over here at these boats. Look at this problem that we've created. In you come. Quick, in you come. Look at this. But whatever you think about the state of this country's immigration policy, or lack thereof, what I do know is this: not a single person who arrived in the UK on a small boat is more responsible for the cost of living crisis, the state of our economy, the state of our schools and hospitals, record child poverty, record homelessness, record inflation, than the greedy, incompetent motherfuckers who have been running the country for the last decade or so. A change of government, please. Well, an array of opinions there, but all agree when it comes to immigration, something needs to change. Back to you, sir.